Miami Heat may have struck gold in this past draft with the 15th overall pick, selecting the 7-foot center out of Indiana in Kel'el Ware. We're just 2 games into his summer league career, but again, with what he's shown, he may be way better than anyone ever anticipated. We'll break down the 2 games as well as a little bit of game tape on this episode of Heat Digest, so let's get to it and break it all down. So, first things first, Kel'el Ware's takeover. Now, before we get into it, I'm not here to tell you he's the next Hakeem Olajuwon. That is not what I'm here to do. It is the Summer League. He's playing against players that were either just drafted, went undrafted, and are now signed to two-way contracts. Players that have been in the league before due to the fact that they are still on two-way contracts, but none of these guys are definitive players on Miami Heat's rosters or any NBA team's roster. So again, all these guys are really playing their hardest in order to showcase the talent they have against other players that are competing to be NBA level players. But again, Kel'el Ware is standing out amongst all of them. And over 2 games, we played against the Golden State Warriors and then the Sacramento Kings. We're going to highlight the Golden State Warriors game first due to the fact that it was the first game that happened. It was ugly for the Miami Heat, to be simply blunt. The Miami Heat got ragdolled. I'm not going to tell you they got beat by 40, but it was pretty close to that. But again, Kel'el Ware really showed out, not really much in this game, but again, in the next game that we're going to break down against the Kings. So first things first, against Golden State, he shot 5 of 12, which is 40%. It's not horrible. He shot 0 of 3 from the three-point line, which is not good, but again, he can stretch the floor. If he has the open look, allow him to take it, showcase his talent. Again, we're only in the Summer League right now. He went 2 of 2 from the free throw line, which is massive, especially from a 7-foot center who may be around that basket a whole lot and has to be fouled due to the fact that he may just be too dominant if you don't foul him. Something along the lines of a Shaq. Again, not calling him Shaq, but again, going on. He ended with 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 blocks. Yes, in one game where he played 24 and a half minutes, he had 5 blocks in that game, simply imposing himself on the defensive end. And it's not just due to the fact that he's crazy athletic and he just always puts himself in the right position. Yes, he does position himself well. He plays a great brand of team defense. But again, when players get around him near the basket, there's not a lot to do. He's 7 feet tall and he has a ridiculous wingspan. His effort and his ability to really alter shots around the basket is going to be drastic, especially if he gets the minutes to do so, to really prove himself, because he simply has the capabilities to be a masterclass on defense time in and time down the floor. And again, just showcasing it. 5 of 12 from the field. Again, it wasn't great, but again, he was still pretty good. He's probably the best player on our team during this game. I do have to shout out Cole Swider, who did play pretty well. He's probably, if not the best, the second best guy in performance-wise from this game. 4 of 8 from the field, 4 of 6 from behind the three-point line. And he added 17 points and 1 assist with 1 steal. Again, not the greatest performance from the Miami Heat team overall because we got spanked by the Golden State Warriors. But again, Summer League, first game, a little bit of jitters, no surprise due to the fact that a lot of these guys are playing their first professional game, in the sense that is in a professional setting for a NBA team, for the Miami Heat, with a new roster or with a new team name on their chest. And again, it's very exciting to watch how these guys play. Now, for this game, how did the shooting go for Kel'el Ware? Well, nope, that's the next game. This game, you notice 3 shots from outside the outside the three-point line, like we acknowledged earlier, where he missed all 3. I will highlight there are a few more shots in between game. He had two shots that were in the mid-range. I will say the one make he had was off the dribble. Very impressive. Obviously, I'm not talking about a Kyrie-esque type of dribble pull-up where he goes between the legs, crossover, has he pull, and he goes over his defender. That is not what happened. It was kind of him not fumbling with the basketball, but he showed the ability to dribble the basketball, and then off the dribble, he's able to shoot a jump shot and make it, which is great to see, in the sense that he has so much potential to really add to this game and really develop his game to the point where he may become unguardable. And then you see him around the basket. Yes, he had 2 or 3 misses, but again, still extremely efficient when you get close to that basket for someone in Kel'el Ware that is 7 feet tall and can simply fill it up in bunches. But again, that was the worst of the 2 games. Now we get to the exciting stuff, because against the Sacramento Kings, Kel'el Ware was dominant, and there is no other way to explain it. He went 12 of 21 from the field, which is just under 60%. On 21 shots, that is damn good, and I don't care who you're playing against. 57%, and again, he missed both of his three-point shots, so now 0 for 5 in 2 games in the Summer League from behind the three-point line. He shot 2 of 5 from the free throw line, which again isn't the greatest clip in the world, but again, we'll take it. Just under the 50% mark at 205. And then for the rest of the box score, the rest of his stat line, 26 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 block. Not as much of a defensive performance from Kel'el Ware in this game, where he played just under 30 minutes at 29.5, but he was simply spectacular throughout the entirety of the game, regardless if it was offense, defensive rebounding, offensive rebounding, affecting shots. He may have not been getting blocks, but again, his size and length was altering shots all game long, and because of that, he still had a massive defensive presence for the Miami Heat around the basket, which is something I can't wait to see on the actual NBA level against NBA talent on day 1 of the NBA season. But again, for the shot chart in this game for Kel'el Ware, it looks a bit different than the one we first looked at, as he only has 2 shots that seem like outside of the painting area. We'll break down the one from the left block, or the right block, I should say, because that was masterclass, and I'm going to go off on a tangent when we break that down with the video that I have. But again, the two more shots from the outside, from outside the three-point line, again, from the top of the key. He may have a preference to shoot from the top of the key, but again, let him work his way into the system. Let him find those open shots and really get him off when he has the chance and really get the reps in at this level. But again, look at this shot chart. This is beautiful. Everything is directly underneath or in front of the basket, and he shot a extremely high percentage due to the fact that he was shooting layup and dunks all night long. And at 7 feet tall, it seemed like a impossible task to stop Kel'el Ware against the Sacramento Kings. Now, I have a few clips from this game of his highlights strictly, and I just want you to acknowledge a few things. 1, the footwork. 2, his positioning. 3, his ability to have a soft touch around the basket despite being such a massive human being. 4, the ability to be a lob threat. And then the 5th one, I'm going to hold off until we get to the clip. I'll stop the actual clip. I'll tell you what you're about to see, and then you can watch it and then listen to me overreact about it. But again, this is Summer League. This is not an all-star game. He's playing against players that were just drafted, like we know, on 2-way contracts. He's not playing against LeBron and Team USA yet. So again, take it with a grain of salt, but again, a hell of a performance from Kel'el Ware. So now let's break down the footage that I have. Shout out to Twitter for these clips, but again, here we go.
A good farm system of how to get your officials to the top level. The baby hook there for Kel'el Ware. Pong's trying to push him out. Ware working for that one.
So important in a young player's game. Maybe they're just used to being stationary shooters, and they'll scout.
Ware over left shoulder.
All right, that's the last clip, and we'll watch that in just a second, but he's something special. Now, there's a few things there. Obviously, the footwork was very good. He was able to get to his spot on the block where he felt comfortable, catch the ball after setting a ball screen, whether he caused a switch or not, and he was able to get to work. He caught the ball, and he knew what to do. He knew he was going to put the ball on the ground, get to where he felt comfortable, where he felt like he can get a shot up, and he was going over left shoulder, he's going over right shoulder, baby hooks with a soft touch off the rim and getting it to fall, or just bullying his way into the basket where he's so close, it's either a layup or a dunk, or you're simply just going to foul him, and then 2 other clips, being able to set a ball screen and be a lob threat every single possession. Doesn't matter if the ball is in Bam Adebayo's hand, doesn't matter if it's in Butler, Rozier, Jovic, it doesn't matter if it's in Spoelstra's hand. If he is rolling to the basket, which in all of those clips, he was so dominant in the sense that if you were looking at him, you noticed he's setting a ball screen, he's putting a guy on his hip, and he's pushing him to where his spot is, he feels his spot is. And he's looking for that ball. His hand is high, giving the passer somewhere to put the ball where no one else can really mess with it due to the fact that he's 7 feet tall, and then he gets to work, and he really is playing a really great brand of basketball. He's not relying on the mid-range game. He's not relying on jump shots and fall-away jump shots and things of that nature. But again, Just the ability to then run the floor. No, hey, if I run the floor, I beat everyone down there, and I have basically a one-on-one with my back to the basket, 2 feet in front of the basket, and no one has time to converge on me once I catch this basketball. This is a free basket for me. This is an easy 2 points for this team. So again, we saw that multiple times. It is going to be a joy to watch him play with Bam Adebayo. And before I play this last clip, because there's 1 second of that clip left, I have to let you guys see. But again, imagine the pick and rolls that we can run. He can set a screen for anyone on the floor and be a lob threat. I can't wait to see if Bam Adebayo has the ball in his hands on the elbow, on the wing, and allow Kel'el Ware to set a ball screen for the ball handler and Bam Adebayo and allow that two-man game to work, because Bam is a phenomenal passer. He has a mid-range game. He has a floater. He has the ability to put his head down, get to the basket. Obviously, he's 6'11" with great finishing ability, and he's freakishly strong. It is going to be a joy. And he obviously, I didn't even mention the fact that Bam can pass better than most forwards in the entire league. I think it's going to be a joy. I can't wait to watch how it plays out. But again, let's get back to this highlight tape and play this last clip, because it's the best one out of all of them.
A good farm system of how to get your officials to the top level. The baby hook there for Kel'el Ware. Ware over left shoulder. They post up Ware, fading away, getting his turn.
That is unguardable. He is 7 feet tall. He is 7 feet tall, and he's taking fallaways from the right block. He's going to be a problem, and if he's able to grow on, be able to develop his game and grow his game, which he's going to be able to do. He just got drafted. He's now going to be in practice with players like Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Jaime Jaquez Jr., these guys that can shoot the basketball extremely well. And then he's going to be playing alongside one of the best power forwards in the game of basketball right now in Bam Adebayo. If you disagree with that, please let me know down in the comments, because I am firmly believing that, and that's not a bias. Bam Adebayo is one of the best all-around players in the game of basketball, let alone the position. But when you minimize it and narrow it down to the position, he's up in the top echelon of the power forwards in the entire league. And I can't wait to see how Kel'el Ware is able to grow after being just surrounded by so much good talent and so many hardworking players and athletes in the Miami Heat organization. And I think this was a home run golden pick from the Miami Heat. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think about his first 2 games in the Summer League and how you think he'll play out for this Miami Heat team. And I'll see you guys on the next episode of Heat Digest.